Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Steve. Huge thanks to Steve and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Steve reached out asking for a Superfriends deck led by Carth the Lion, and I was more than happy to help. But before we get started, I'd like to quickly ask you to like and subscribe. It really does help the channel, and it's free. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. Carth the Lion is a 4-mana 3/5 legendary human warrior. Whenever Carth the Lion enters the battlefield or a planeswalker we control dies, we look at the top 7 cards of our library. We may reveal a planeswalker from among them and put it into our hand. We then put the rest of the cards on the bottom of our library in a random order. Additionally, Carth makes it so that planeswalker loyalty abilities we activate cost 1 more to activate. Okay, so that last part might need some explaining. If a planeswalker has a +1 ability, that ability is now a +2. So we add 2 loyalty counters instead of 1. If a planeswalker has a -6 ability, that ability now only costs us 5 loyalty instead of 6. This makes getting to ultimates much faster, and in some cases, we can ultimate the minute the card hits the table. Now, because we're in Golgari, we're going to miss out on some of the planeswalker support cards like Oath of Teferi, Broker's Ascendance, and Ichor-Moon Gauntlet. But we do have a lot of proliferate effects. Now, it'll take more than just planeswalkers and proliferate effects to build a functional commander deck, and for that, we turn to our handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. As I'm sure you've heard by now, this channel is sponsored by Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is famous for their Boulder, and now they have the new Boulder and Tray. Designed to carry both your commander deck and enough dice to satisfy anyone but a dice goblin, you can get yours in a variety of colors, like the emerald one seen here. Find out if your local game store carries the Ultimate Guard Boulder and Tray, or click on the link down below to order yourself one from Amazon. One more thing before we get started. I've been streaming Final Fantasy XIV over on my other channel, Musings by Danon. If you want to pop in and ask some questions, chat about Commander, or just hang out, you're more than welcome to. For right now, the schedule is Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the evenings. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Cabal Coffers, Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, Yavimaya Cradle of Growth, Karn's Bastion, Verdant Catacombs, Marsh Flats, Misty Rainforest, Bloodstained Mire, Windswept Heath, Bayou, Overgrown Tomb, Undergrowth Stadium, Deathcap Glade, Woodland Cemetery, Woodland Chasm, Haunted Mire, Tainted Wood, Llanowar Wastes, Darkboar Pathway, Bojuka Bog, Golgari Rot Farm, Interplanar Beacon, Nesting Grounds, 3 snow-covered swamps, and 5 snow-covered forests make up our land base. Freyalise Llanowar's Fury, Garruk Wildspeaker, Liliana of the Dark Realms, Nissa Vastwood Seer, Nissa Who Shakes the World, Nissa Worldwaker, Glistening Sphere, Sakura Tribe Elder, Sol Ring, Mana Crypt, Arcane Signet, Farseek, Cultivate, Kodama's Reach, and 3 visits make up our mana ramp package. Loth the Spider Queen, Obnixilis Reignited, Sorin the Mirthless, Ugin the Ineffable, Vraska Golgari Queen, Ren and Realmbreaker, Ren and 7, Karn Scion of Urza, Liliana Vess, Nissa Vital Force, Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Unnatural Restoration, and Liliana Dreadhorde General help us to dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Garruk Apex Predator, Garruk Cursed Huntsman, Karn Liberated, Liliana of the Veil, Nissa Ascended Animist, Obnixilis the Hate Twisted, Sorin Markov, Vraska Relic Seeker, Vraska the Unseen, Rise of the Witch King, Cankerbloom, Drown in Ichor, Silent Arbiter, Reclamation Sage, Assassin's Trophy, Heroic Intervention, Abrupt Decay, and Beast Within all help to interact with the board, remove annoying permanents, or protect our stuff from our opponents. Ugin the Spirit Dragon, Toxic Deluge, Nevinyrral's Disc, Pernicious Deed, and Blood on the Snow all serve to keep the board clear of annoying creatures and other permanents. Eliwick Tumblestrum, Garruk Primal Hunter, Liliana the Last Hope, Nissa Voice of Zendikar, Obnixilis of the Black Oath, Tevish Zot Doom of Fools, and Vraska Betrayal Sting all serve as the core of our deck and how we plan on winning. To support our plan, we've got Doubling Season, Vorinclex Monstrous Raider, The Chain Veil, Evolution Sage, Liliana's Talent, Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician, and Staff of Completion. Now that we have our deck list, we should compare it to our checklist. 48 mana sources split between 33 lands and 15 pieces of ramp. A little light, but that's okay because we're also running 14 pieces of card advantage, 18 pieces of interaction, 5 board wipes, 1 piece of graveyard hate in Bojuka Bog, 2 Sudden I Win cards in Vorinclex Monstrous Raider and Doubling Season. How are these Sudden I Win cards, you ask? Planeswalker Ultimates are meant to be activated 2 or 3 turns after they hit the battlefield, which means you have to wait several turns, protect them from all threats, and then maybe you'll get to activate their game-ending effects. Doubling Season and Vorinclex both make it so our Planeswalkers enter the battlefield with double their normal starting counters. Remember, according to the rules of Magic, a Planeswalker is treated as if its starting text box included "This permanent enters the battlefield with a number of loyalty counters on it equal to its printed loyalty number." Both Doubling Season and Vorinclex Monstrous Raider modify that rule by putting double the number of counters on them. Now, the first thing I did when building this deck was go through every single Planeswalker in Golgari and determine if they were good enough to run in Commander. There are a surprising number of ones that are good, with abilities that work well in a lot of situations. However, since we aren't running a ton of creatures in our deck, 9 counting our Commander, Vivian and most of the Garruk cards were cut. There are also quite a few Lilianas that care about zombies, and we're not a zombie deck. Sure, if Liliana makes zombies for us, that's great. But with only 8 creatures in the 99, we don't care about reanimation as much. Once we'd narrowed it down to those 33 Planeswalkers that we did want, it was just a matter of filling out the rest of the deck and following our handy-dandy checklist. Now, the one card that shuts down a Super Friends deck is the Immortal Sun, so I made sure to include several ways to blow it up. We can't have that card on the battlefield for a single turn, so make sure you save at least 1 piece of interaction. I know it's not the most common card, but if you're playing a Super Friends deck, make sure to hold back 1 piece of interaction to blow that artifact to Kingdom Come the minute it hits the battlefield. Do you have a Carth the Lion deck? What's your secret deck tech? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. One of the tiers is specifically set up for Commander. For only $25, I will build you a custom Commander deck based around your specifications, and even do a deck video on it. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Josh, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Alix, Daniel, Steve, Alex, Cookie, Borgie, Jake, Exiled Rogue, Manassas, Nazwin, Pedro, and Aranor. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos often, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Also, if you're a fan of anime and manga like I am, feel free to check out my other channel, Musings by Danon. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.